In the stillness of your being, in the gentle heartbeat of existence, there lies a truth that transcends time and space. Presence is the only place power exists. It is not in the rush of yesterday's regret, nor in the anxious anticipation of tomorrow's uncertainty. True power resides not in what you possess, nor in the accomplishments you gather, but in your ability to be fully, completely present in the moment. This moment, this sacred now, the very instant in which you are reading these words, breathing these breaths, feeling this life. You see, there is a secret that the world has tried to mask, a truth that is often hidden in the noise and chaos of everyday life. You are not what has happened to you. You are not what you fear may come. You are not the thoughts that whirl in your mind like a tempest. You are none of these things. You are that which observes, that which witnesses, the space between thoughts, the stillness beneath the surface of the storm. You are presence. This is where power begins, not in the constant striving of the ego, which forever seeks to validate itself in the eyes of others, not in the endless pursuit of accomplishments, possessions, and accolades. These are fleeting, temporary. They come and go like waves crashing against the shore. But what remains? The shore itself, the stillness that watches all things, unaffected, unmoved by the tides of external events. That is the power of presence. The ego, in its endless quest for validation, has convinced you that power lies in control, in force, in manipulation. It whispers to you that the more you can control, the more you can acquire, the more you can conquer, the more powerful you will become. But this is a lie. True power lies not in what you can control, but in what you can surrender, in the letting go. Imagine for a moment that you are standing on the edge of a vast ocean. The waves are crashing violently, the winds howling, the water churning in every direction. The chaos is overwhelming, and yet you stand firm, unmoved. You do not attempt to control the ocean. You do not try to stop the waves or still the wind. No. Instead, you surrender. You let the ocean be what it is. And in that surrender, you become one with the ocean. You feel the rhythm of the waves. You align with the movement of the water. In that surrender, you discover a stillness that was always there, beneath the surface of the storm. That stillness is the power of presence. We have been conditioned to believe that the answer to life's challenges lies in action, in doing, in achieving. And while action has its place, it is not the source of true power. True power comes when we stop trying to force life to be something it is not, and instead allow life to flow through us as it was always meant to. In the acceptance of what is and the surrender to the present moment, we find our true strength. This is the paradox of life. In surrender, we gain. In letting go, we hold everything. The moment you stop struggling, the moment you stop trying to control, you align with the flow of the universe. You become like a leaf on the surface of a river, floating effortlessly downstream. The current of life carries you, and in that surrender, you find your purpose, your power, your peace. But this is not something the ego can understand. The ego, ever hungry for more, cannot fathom the concept of surrender. It is only when we step outside the grasp of the ego, when we stop identifying with the false sense of self that is constantly trying to prove its worth, that we begin to experience the power of presence. The ego is not who you are. It is a construct, a collection of thoughts and beliefs that have been shaped by the past, by the opinions of others, by society. But who you are is not a thought. You are not your beliefs. You are not your past. You are presence itself. And in that presence, all things are possible. Not because you will them into being, but because you align with the flow of life, which is constantly unfolding. You see, when you are present, you become an instrument of the universe. You are no longer the one trying to control and manipulate. You are the one being moved. And in this state of alignment, you discover a power far greater than anything the ego could ever create. This is the power of being. This is the power of now. But to experience this, you must first be willing to release the illusion of control. You must be willing to let go of your attachment to outcomes, to expectations, to the idea that you need to have everything figured out. You are already enough. You always have been. Your worth is not dependent on your achievements, your possessions, or the approval of others. Your worth is inherent in the very fact that you exist. You are a divine expression of life itself, a unique manifestation of the universe's infinite creativity. You are already whole. This is why presence is the only place power exists. In the present moment, there is no need to prove yourself. There is no need to seek validation from others or chase after fleeting desires. In the now, you are already everything you need to be. All the power you seek, all the answers you are searching for, are contained in this moment. You are the source of your own power. And so the invitation is simple. Be present. Be here. Be now. Stop running from the present moment. Stop avoiding what is. Stop resisting the flow of life. When you surrender to the present, you allow yourself to be filled with the power of the universe. You allow yourself to be guided by an intelligence far greater than anything the mind can comprehend. And in that guidance, you will find peace. You will find joy. You will find love. You will find freedom. The past no longer has any hold over you, for it is only a memory. The future is but a dream, a projection of the mind. The only place where life is real, where life is happening, is in the present moment. And in that moment, you are free. You are powerful. This is the essence of who you are. You are not a separate individual struggling to survive. You are not your thoughts, your emotions, or your story. You are the presence that witnesses it all. You are the stillness beneath the surface. You are the ocean, vast and infinite, capable of containing all things. When you awaken to this truth, you awaken to your true power. You no longer need to chase after success, recognition, or validation. You no longer need to prove yourself to anyone, including yourself. You simply need to be. And in that being, you will discover a strength beyond measure, a peace beyond comprehension, and a love that transcends all understanding. So, let go of the past. Let go of the future. Let go of the struggle, the effort, the need to control, and simply be present. In the present, you are whole. In the present, you are powerful. In the present, you are free. And as you embrace this truth, you will begin to see the world around you change. The circumstances that once seemed overwhelming will no longer have the power to shake you. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable will no longer feel like obstacles. For when you are grounded in the present, nothing can disturb your peace. Nothing can take away your power. You are presence. This is your true nature. This is the power you have always possessed. You were never broken. You were never lacking. You were never incomplete. You were always whole. And now, you are awake to the truth. The truth that presence is the only place power exists. The truth that you are not your thoughts, your emotions, or your circumstances. You are the stillness that witnesses it all. You are the presence that is always here, always now, always free. And in that freedom, you will discover a life far more beautiful than anything the ego could ever create. A life filled with peace, with love, with joy, with grace. A life where you are no longer bound by the past, no longer fearful of the future, but free to live fully, freely, and powerfully in the now. Presence is the only place power exists. And now you know the truth. When you allow yourself to truly be present, you begin to realize that the moment is all there is, All that you've been seeking, all that you've been running after is already here in front of you, waiting to be acknowledged. It's not hidden in some far-off future or locked away in the depths of the past. It's here, right now. The power that you seek to change your life is here in this moment, in this breath, in this stillness. The ego, in its search for meaning and value, believes it needs to gather more, achieve more, become more. It whispers, "You must have this before you can be happy. You must accomplish that before you can be worthy." But this is the illusion, for you are already enough. You were never lacking, never incomplete. It was never about becoming anything more. It was always about remembering who you are and allowing yourself to be that truth in every moment. When we surrender the belief that we need to chase or strive, we step into the power of presence. Surrender is not weakness, it is strength. Surrendering to what is in this moment allows us to move with the flow of life rather than against it. It is like a river that no longer fights the rocks and obstacles in its path, but flows effortlessly around them. In that flow, it finds its strength, its purpose. In this moment, right now, you can stop seeking, you can stop fighting, you can stop running. You are home. There is nothing to prove, nowhere to go. Just breathe. Feel your heart beating, the air filling your lungs, the pulse of life coursing through your veins. You are already living the miracle. The miracle is, in this moment, in the ordinary, the mundane, the breath of life itself. In the realm of presence, there is no room for judgment, comparison, or competition. These are all constructs of the mind, the ego, that cause us to measure ourselves against others, to believe that we are either too much or not enough. But you are not your mind. You are not your judgments or your comparisons. You are the awareness that witnesses all of it, the silent observer, untouched by the fluctuations of thought and emotion. When you move beyond the identification with the ego, you experience a deep sense of peace. It is the peace of knowing that nothing can disturb your essence. Nothing can take away your worth. You are. And that is enough. The noise of the world may try to pull you in, but you remain anchored in your center, in the stillness of presence, where nothing external can alter the truth of who you are. Think about the times when you felt most alive, when you were so deeply immersed in an experience that the rest of the world faded away. Perhaps it was in a moment of deep connection with another, in a creative flow, or simply in the quiet of nature. In those moments, you were fully present. There was no past pulling at you, no future waiting to be fulfilled. You were simply here, and that was enough. That is the state of power, pure presence. You see, power doesn't lie in control or manipulation. It doesn't lie in forcing things to happen or trying to change the world on your terms. True power lies in surrendering to the natural flow of life, in allowing the universe to work through you rather than trying to force it to conform to your desires. The moment you let go of the need to control, the moment you let go of your attachment to outcomes, you align with the greater wisdom that already knows the way. This is why we must learn to trust. Trust in the process of life. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when we cannot see the bigger picture. Trust that each moment has its own perfection, even in the midst of challenge. When you trust, you release the weight of worry, the burden of control, and step into the freedom of being. The present moment is the only true point of power because it is the only moment that is real. The past is a shadow, a memory. The future is an idea, a projection. Only now, this very moment, holds the power to change your life. The key to transformation is not in what you will do tomorrow or what you have done in the past. It is in what you choose to do right now. So, I ask you to consider, what would your life look like if you truly embraced the power of presence? What would it feel like to let go of the need to be anywhere other than here, to stop searching for happiness in the future, to stop chasing validation in the eyes of others? Imagine the peace, the freedom, the power that would arise from simply being who you are in this moment without judgment, without striving. The truth is, the more you let go of the need to control and the more you embrace the present, the more you will experience your true self. You will discover a version of you that is whole, complete, and powerful beyond measure. The world may continue to swirl around you, but you will remain anchored in your truth, grounded in your essence, clear in your purpose, and in that truth, you will find the most profound freedom. The freedom to be yourself, to live authentically, and to trust that life will guide you exactly where you need to go. This is the gift of presence. It is not something you need to achieve or acquire. It is already within you, waiting to be remembered, to be embraced. So now, as you sit in this moment, take a deep breath. Feel the power of your presence. You are not the thoughts that come and go. You are not the emotions that rise and fall. You are the stillness behind it all, the awareness that observes, the soul that is always connected to the infinite. You are power. And from this moment, you are free. Free to be exactly who you are. Free to let go of everything that no longer serves you. Free to step into the flow of life with trust, with peace, and with the knowing that the power you seek is already within you. This is the truth of who you are. Presence is the only place power exists. And now you have remembered you are home. When you are present, you become a clear vessel through which life can flow. It's like a stream that no longer fights the rocks and obstacles in its path, but moves effortlessly around them, shaping its course. The water doesn't struggle to find its way, it simply follows the path of least resistance. This is the flow of life, and when you are in alignment with it, you cease to struggle. The path unfolds before you, not through your effort, but through your willingness to be. You are the river, and the river is you. This is not a passive state. This is not the surrender of a weak or timid spirit. It is the surrender of the one who understands their true strength. The strength that arises when you stop forcing life to conform to your desires and instead allow life to reveal its truth to you. You don't need to control. You don't need to manipulate. You only need to trust. Trust that everything is unfolding for you, even when the picture is not yet clear. Trust that the timing of your life is always perfect, even when it feels like things are not moving as fast as you'd like. In presence, you find freedom. The kind of freedom that isn't dependent on circumstances or external validation. The kind of freedom that is born from knowing that you are already whole, that you are enough in this moment, right now. You no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer need to compare yourself to others. You no longer need to chase after something you think you are missing. You are whole. The ego will try to tell you otherwise, of course. It will whisper in your ear that you need to be more, do more, have more. It will point to the achievements of others and tell you that you are somehow lacking. But that voice is not the truth. The truth is that you are not defined by your accomplishments, your possessions, or the opinions of others. You are defined by your presence. The moment you realize this, you are free. Free from the constant chase. Free from the need for external validation. Free from the belief that you must become something other than what you are. You are already everything you need to be. In the moment you stop seeking validation, you find the power of acceptance. Acceptance of what is. The moment you stop fighting against the present moment, you begin to align with it. And when you align with it, you align with the power that already exists in the present moment, the power of now. This power is not something that can be taken from you. It is eternal, unshakable. It does not rely on circumstances, on success, on failure. It is the foundation of your being. This is the essence of who you are. So, when life presents challenges, when obstacles arise, when the world feels heavy, remember this: you are not the challenge. You are the presence that witnesses it. And in that presence, you are free. In that presence, you are powerful. In that presence, you can face any challenge with calm, with clarity, and with strength. The key to transforming your life is not in trying harder, working more, or struggling against the flow. It is in surrendering to the moment. It is in letting go of the need to control, of the need to know what will happen next, and simply trusting that you are being guided. Trusting that the very universe that created you is unfolding with perfect precision, and when you surrender to that, you align yourself with that wisdom, with that intelligence, and you discover a peace that no external circumstance can take away. This is the power of presence. Now, let me ask you this. What would happen if you stopped seeking to change the moment? What if you simply accepted the present exactly as it is? Not as a form of resignation or passivity, but as a conscious choice to live fully, to experience this moment as it is without the need to alter it or resist it. Imagine what could unfold when you no longer waste energy wishing things were different. When you stop running from your feelings, your thoughts, your experiences. When you embrace the full spectrum of life, knowing that it all plays a part in your journey, what could unfold in your life if you embraced each moment as perfect, as complete, as divine? When you are in presence, you are no longer subject to the fluctuations of the external world. You are no longer swayed by the praise of others, nor crushed by their criticism. You become rooted in the unshakable truth that you are enough, just as you are. In that truth, you can move through the world with confidence and grace, not because you have everything figured out, but because you are no longer dependent on external validation. This is not to say that you do not take action, that you do not create or build, or that you become passive. Rather, it is to say that your actions come from a place of inner peace and alignment, rather than from a place of fear or egoic need. When you act from presence, you act with clarity. You move with intention. You don't force things to happen, but you work in harmony with the flow of life. And the result? You move through life with ease, with joy, and with grace. Your life begins to unfold effortlessly because you are no longer fighting against the current. You are the current. You are the flow. You are presence. In every moment of presence, you are free. Free from the weight of your past, free from the fear of your future, free to be fully alive in this moment. And when you live in this freedom, you begin to experience the depth of life's richness. You begin to experience the beauty that exists in the simplest moments, the way the sun feels on your skin, the sound of the wind through the trees, the smile of a stranger, the touch of a loved one. These are the moments that make life worth living. These are the moments where you find joy, where you find love, where you find peace, and these moments are always available to you when you are fully present. So, let go of the past. Let go of the future. Let go of everything that has ever told you that you are not enough, that you need to be something else, and simply be. Be here. Be now. Be who you are. And in that being, you will discover the greatest power of all the power of presence. The power to be yourself. The power to live fully. The power to experience life as it was always meant to be lived. This is your birthright. You are presence. And in that presence, you are free. And so, my friend, in this moment, you stand at the threshold of a new way of being. You stand at the edge of an ocean, waiting to dive in and experience its vast, boundless depths. You have already discovered that presence is not a place you go, but a place you are. It is the eternal truth that resides in the heart of all things. It is the power you were born with, the gift that is given to you in every single breath you take. The only question now is, will you choose to stay present? Will you choose to let go of the past, release the need for control, and live fully in the moment? Because when you do, you will find that you are no longer seeking the life you want, you are simply living it. When you embrace this truth, you will no longer search for happiness in distant horizons. You will know that happiness is not something to be found. It is something that arises when you are fully present with life as it is. You will stop chasing after future dreams, believing that they hold the key to your peace. Peace is here now. In every heartbeat, in every inhale and exhale, you carry within you the seed of transformation. The power to heal, the power to create, the power to love is not out there. It is here, in you. And when you embrace this power, the world will transform with you. The people around you will feel it, the opportunities will appear, and the universe will conspire to bring you everything you need. So, as you move forward, remember this. Presence is not a state you achieve through effort, but through surrender. It is not something you need to prove or earn. It is your natural state. You are already whole, already powerful, already enough. And the moment you step into this truth, you are free. You are free to live, to love, to create, and to be. You are presence. And in that presence, you are infinite. We are taught to believe that movement, noise, and constant activity are the essence of life. We live in a world that celebrates the loudest voice, the fastest pace, and the most visible presence. But deep within, the soul speaks a language that is not one of words, not one of action, but one of stillness. And in this stillness, we find the truest expression of who we are. We find our connection to the divine, to the very essence of life itself. Stillness is not silence. Stillness is the language of the soul, a language that transcends the limitations of the mind. It is not the absence of sound, but the presence of something far greater, the presence of peace, of clarity, of wisdom that rises from the depths of our being. It is in stillness that we are able to hear the subtle whispers of our spirit guiding us on the path of our highest truth. And yet, we live in a world that constantly demands our attention. The noise is everywhere. The distractions are relentless. We are pulled in 1,000 different directions, each one shouting for our focus, for our energy, for our time. The mind races, the emotions swirl, and we find ourselves lost in the chaos of it all. But in the midst of this storm, there is a place of calm, a place where the soul speaks to us in a language that does not require words. Stillness is not something we do, it is something we become. It is the natural state of our being, the essence of who we are when we are free from the noise of the world, when we are free from the distractions of the ego. The ego thrives on movement. It thrives on activity, on the pursuit of external validation, on the constant need for approval and recognition, but the soul does not seek approval. The soul does not need validation. The soul is already whole, already complete, already at peace. When we stop seeking, when we stop striving, when we let go of the need to control, we find that we are carried into a place of stillness. It is in this place that we reconnect with our true selves, with the divine presence that resides within us. In this stillness, we discover that everything we have been searching for was already within us, waiting for us to stop long enough to notice it. Stillness is not a passive state. It is not the absence of action, but rather the presence of intention. In stillness, we are not inactive, but we are deeply aligned with the flow of life. We are in tune with the rhythms of the universe, moving in harmony with the energy of creation. Stillness allows us to respond to life from a place of clarity and wisdom, rather than from a place of reaction and fear. The ego tells us that we must be busy, that we must always be doing, achieving, and striving. But the soul knows that true power lies in surrender, in letting go of the need to control, and in allowing life to unfold naturally. In stillness, we are reminded that we do not have to fight to survive. We do not have to force things to happen. Life flows effortlessly when we allow it to. When we let go of the need to control, we find that the universe responds with grace, with ease, and with infinite abundance. In this stillness, we begin to heal. Healing does not come from external sources. Healing comes from within. It comes from the deep recognition that we are whole, that we are enough, just as we are. The mind tells us that we are broken, that we are flawed, that we need to be fixed. But the soul knows the truth that we are already whole, already complete, already perfect in our imperfection. It is only the ego that needs fixing, for it is the ego that is attached to the illusion of separation, to the belief that we are not enough. Stillness is the gateway to healing because it is in stillness that we reconnect with the truth of who we are. When we stop, when we silence the mind and the chatter of the ego, we come into direct contact with our true nature. And in this contact, we remember that we are divine beings, that we are made of the same energy that created the stars, the same energy that flows through every living thing. We are not separate from the divine. We are not separate from the universe. We are the universe expressing itself through us. When we embrace stillness, we also embrace the idea that we are not our thoughts. The mind, with its endless stream of thoughts, can create the illusion that we are the sum total of our thoughts, that we are defined by the stories we tell ourselves. But the truth is that we are the observer of the thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. In stillness, we can witness the thoughts without identifying with them. We can let them pass like clouds in the sky, knowing that they do not define us. We are the sky, vast and infinite, not the fleeting clouds. The ego wants us to believe that we are our stories, that we are our past, that we are the sum total of our experiences. But the soul knows that we are not our past. We are not the wounds we carry. We are not the mistakes we have made. We are not the roles we have played. We are the space between the thoughts, the stillness that exists when we stop trying to be someone we are not. We are the presence of awareness, the pure essence of being. In this stillness, we find freedom. The ego binds us to the past, to the future, to the fear and the anxiety that arise from our attachment to outcomes. But the soul knows that freedom exists in the present moment. When we are still, when we are fully present, we are free from the shackles of time. We are free from the weight of regret and the fear of what may come. In stillness, we discover that the only moment that truly exists is the one we are living right now. Stillness is the antidote to the restlessness of the ego. It is the cure for the endless striving, the constant seeking, and the unrelenting pressure to do more, be more, have more. In stillness, we come to understand that we do not need to strive to be whole because we already are. We do not need to chase after happiness because it is already within us. We do not need to seek love because we are love. We do not need to search for peace because peace is who we are. Stillness is the gateway to the divine. It is in stillness that we come into direct contact with the source of all life, with the intelligence that created the universe, with the love that sustains all things. When we stop seeking outside of ourselves, when we stop looking for answers in the noise of the world, we find that the answers are already within us. The soul always knows. It knows the way. It knows the truth. It knows the path that will lead us back to ourselves. And so, I invite you to find stillness, not the kind of stillness that comes from escaping the world, but the kind of stillness that arises from within. The stillness that comes when we stop running, when we stop avoiding, when we stop resisting. The stillness that comes when we stop long enough to listen to the voice of our soul, the voice that speaks in silence, in peace, in love. In this stillness, you will find everything you need. You will find clarity. You will find peace. You will find wisdom. You will find the strength to heal. You will find the courage to let go. You will find the freedom to be who you truly are. And in this stillness, you will remember that you are not separate from the divine. You are the divine. You are the expression of love, of peace, of infinite possibility. Stillness is not a luxury. It is a necessity, it is the language of the soul, and it is the path to your freedom. When you embrace stillness, you embrace yourself, you embrace your divinity. You embrace the truth that you are already enough, already whole, already perfect, just as you are. And in that truth, you will find the peace, the joy, and the love that you have been seeking all along. In this silence, you are invited to let go of the struggle. The soul does not need to fight its way into peace, nor does it need to win approval from the outside world. Peace is not something to be conquered, but something that arises naturally when the mind releases its grip. The world will always beckon you to chase, to compete, to become more than you are. But in the depths of stillness, you realize that you are already everything you need to be. There is no race to win, no prize to gain, just the quiet truth of your own being unfolding effortlessly in the present moment. In this gentle quiet, the noise of your inner battles begins to fade. You are no longer caught in the endless loop of self-criticism or the constant search for improvement. The pull to measure your worth by your achievements starts to soften, and you begin to rest in the realization that you are not defined by what you do, but by who you are. Your value is inherent. It is woven into your very fabric. The stillness invites you to witness this truth, not with the mind, but with the heart, a heart that knows without question that you are enough. Here, in the tranquil presence of the soul, there is no need to be anyone other than who you are. No longer do you need to wear the masks of expectation or bend to the will of the world. You stand in your own light, free from the need for validation or approval. It is in this freedom that your true essence can shine. No longer do you have to prove your worth. The truth of your being speaks louder than any external accolade ever could. As you sit in the stillness, you may feel the pull of the past, trying to remind you of your mistakes, your regrets, and the moments you wish you could change. But the stillness is your sanctuary, where time itself fades into the background. In this space, you realize that your past is merely a collection of experiences, each one contributing to the wisdom you now carry. The stillness helps you see the past not as something to carry with you, but as something that has already been transformed, transmuted into wisdom, and released into the flow of your life. In this moment, as you breathe deeply and connect with your inner stillness, you understand that true freedom lies not in the pursuit of external success, but in the acceptance of your own unfolding. There is no need to chase anything. Everything you have ever sought, love, peace, joy, is already within you, simply waiting for you to acknowledge it. The stillness is the doorway through which these treasures are revealed, not as something to be gained, but as something to be remembered. Through stillness, the illusion of separation falls away. You begin to sense that you are not isolated in your journey, but an integral part of the vast web of existence. The boundaries between you and the world begin to dissolve, and you realize that the love, the peace, the wisdom you seek is not somewhere out there, but within you, interwoven with the very core of your being. In the stillness, you are reminded that you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through your consciousness. In this quiet presence, healing begins. Healing is not the result of fixing what is broken. It is the realization that there was never anything to fix in the first place. The stillness shows you that your wounds are not your identity, that the scars you carry do not define your worth. In this sacred silence, you remember that you are not broken. You are whole, as you have always been. You are the embodiment of divine perfection, untouched by the illusion of imperfection. And in this remembrance, healing happens effortlessly. It is in the stillness that forgiveness blooms. Forgiveness does not come from the mind or the ego, which are quick to judge and hold on to past pain. Forgiveness arises from the soul, from the heart that knows the truth of love and compassion. It does not excuse the actions that hurt you, but it releases you from the grip of the past. In the stillness, you realize that forgiveness is not a gift you give to others, it is a gift you give to yourself. You let go of the weight of resentment, of anger, and you allow yourself to move forward with a heart full of peace. As you sit in this moment of stillness, you are invited to release all the expectations you have placed on yourself and the world around you. You no longer need to chase after what you think you should be. You can simply be. The stillness asks you to surrender to the flow of life, to trust in the wisdom of your soul, and to let go of the need for control. Life is not something to be conquered. It is something to be experienced, to be embraced. And when you let go of the need to control, you will find that life unfolds with grace, with ease, and with perfect timing. In this stillness, you remember that you are not alone. You are held in the embrace of something much greater than yourself. You are part of the divine dance of the universe, flowing with the rhythm of the cosmos. Your heart beats in harmony with the heart of the world. In this stillness, you know that you are never separate, never disconnected. You are one with the infinite, one with the divine, and in that oneness you find your peace. The stillness is not a place to escape from the world, it is a place to reconnect with it. In the quiet, you begin to see the world through new eyes. You see the beauty in the simple moments, the sacredness in the ordinary. You recognize the divine in everyone and everything, and your heart overflows with compassion. In the stillness, you learn to be present, to truly be here now, without clinging to the past or worrying about the future. In this presence, you experience the depth of life's mystery, the profound beauty of every moment, and the eternal truth that all is well. And so, in this stillness, you find yourself. You discover the truth that you are not what the world tells you to be. You are not your thoughts, your past, or your struggles. You are a divine being, already whole, already perfect, already enough. In the stillness, you remember who you are, not as a label, not as an identity, but as the essence of being itself. You are the quiet presence of love, peace, and wisdom. You are the soul unshaken by the storms of life, ever present, ever still. Stillness is the language of the soul, and in this language you will find everything you have been searching for. It is not outside of you, but within. It is not something you need to achieve, but something you need to remember. In stillness, you will remember the truth of who you are, and in that remembrance, you will find your freedom. And so, let the stillness wash over you. Let it be the balm that heals your wounds. Let it be the space where you reconnect with your divine essence. Let it be the light that guides you through the darkness, the love that lifts you when you fall. And in the stillness, you will find your way home. Stillness is not a destination, but a state of being. It's a space where the soul is allowed to breathe without the interference of the constant chatter of the mind. The mind wants to define, to label, to measure, but in stillness, there is no need for any of these. There is only pure experience, the raw, unfiltered moment where you are exactly as you are, and the world around you exists without judgment or expectation. In stillness, there is a deep surrender. The ego, which once fought for control, is allowed to rest. The need to shape the world to your will falls away. And in this surrender, something miraculous happens. You reconnect with your inherent wisdom. You remember that the answers to life's questions do not lie in the hustle, the external noise, or the accumulation of things. They lie in the space between thoughts and the calm of the present moment, in the stillness of your soul. When you stop seeking, you find. When you stop grasping, you receive. In this place of stillness, you are not alone. You are connected to everything, to the universe, to the stars above and the earth beneath your feet. There is no separation. This is the great truth that the ego tries to obscure. You are part of the infinite, the eternal flow of life. Your soul is connected to all that is, and when you realize this, there is a profound peace that washes over you. It is the peace of knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. It is the peace of knowing that you are a thread in the tapestry of the universe, perfectly woven into the design of creation. In the quiet, you begin to understand that your life is not an isolated journey. You are part of a grand, interconnected dance of existence, a dance that stretches across time, across space, across dimensions. Every choice you make ripples out into the world, affecting the whole, and every action you take is a reflection of the divine energy that flows through all things. The stillness shows you this truth, allowing you to see beyond the limited perspective of the ego, to recognize the profound unity that exists between you and everything else. It is this stillness that gives you the strength to release the past. The past is only a story the mind tells itself, and as long as you hold on to it, you are trapped in a loop. But in the stillness, you can let go. You can release the weight of old wounds, the chains of old regrets. In this moment, you are free from the ghosts of the past, free from the need to hold on to pain or resentment. You can forgive, not because you condone the actions of others, but because you choose to free yourself from their hold over you. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to the present. And in the stillness, you find the strength to forgive, to let go, to move forward. And moving forward in stillness is not a movement of force or effort. It is a movement of flow. It is the art of surrendering to the rhythm of life, of trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. The ego tells you to push forward, to work harder, to strive more. But the soul knows that there is no need for this. Life moves in cycles, in waves, and when you allow yourself to flow with the current, you will always be exactly where you need to be. The stillness teaches you this. It teaches you that you do not have to fight your way through life. You simply have to be, to trust, and to surrender to the flow of the universe. In this space of stillness, there is also a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the simple moments, for the beauty that surrounds you, for the people who cross your path. The ego is quick to judge, quick to compare, quick to find fault. But the soul sees only beauty, sees only connection, sees only love. In stillness, you begin to see with new eyes, eyes that recognize the divinity in all things, the sacredness in the mundane. Every moment becomes a gift. Every interaction becomes an opportunity for love, and every breath becomes a prayer of thanks. It is in stillness that you discover your true power. Power is not the ability to control or dominate. True power is the ability to be at peace, to be centered no matter what is happening around you. The world may throw challenges your way, but in the stillness, you are unshaken. You are like a tree, standing firm in the storm, its roots deep in the earth, its branches reaching toward the sky. No matter how strong the winds blow, the tree remains rooted, steady, and grounded. This is the power that comes from stillness, the power to remain calm, centered, and unshaken, no matter what life presents. And from this power, you begin to see that the world itself is a reflection of your inner state. As within, so without. When you cultivate peace within, peace will radiate out into the world. When you embrace love within, love will be reflected in your relationships, your work, and your environment. The stillness within you creates ripples that extend outward, touching everything you encounter. And in this way, you become a source of peace, of healing, of love in the world. You become the change you wish to see. In this stillness, you remember the truth of who you are. You're not just a body, not just a mind, not just a fleeting identity. You are the eternal soul, a divine spark of consciousness, and this truth transcends all that the world tells you to be. The ego may try to define you by your appearance, your job, your achievements, but none of these things can define you. You are the observer, the witness, the presence that is aware of it all. You are not what you do, but the being that does. You are not what you have, but the essence that has everything. In stillness, you reconnect with this truth. You remember your divine nature, and in this remembrance, you find freedom. And this is the gift of stillness. It brings you home. It brings you back to yourself, back to your truth, back to your soul. In stillness, you find the courage to let go of all that no longer serves you, to shed the layers of fear, doubt, and judgment. In stillness, you find the wisdom to recognize that you are already whole, already perfect, already complete. There is nothing to fix, nothing to change, and nothing to achieve. You are already what you seek. So, I invite you to embrace the stillness, to stop long enough to listen to the voice of your soul, to hear the whispers of the universe, and to reconnect with the divine energy that flows through you. In the stillness, you will find your peace. You will find your power. You will find your truth. And in that truth, you will find everything you have ever been searching for. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, the stillness invites you to simply be. There's nothing more to do, nothing more to prove, and nowhere more to go. You have arrived not in the future, not in a distant destination, but right here, in this moment. The stillness has led you back to your true essence, to the quiet knowing that you are enough, that you are whole, that you are already everything you need to be. In this stillness, there is no rush. Life is not something to be hurried through. It is not a race to the finish line. The race ends in the realization that there is no finish line. The journey, in its purest form, is about returning to the self, returning to the stillness, where the soul can breathe, can be, can exist without the need to chase or seek. The stillness is the arrival point and the starting point, all at once. It is the destination that was never separate from the journey, the home you've always known, waiting for you to come back. The world outside will continue to move, continue to change, continue to pull at you in every direction. The distractions will never cease. But within you, within the sacred silence of your heart, there is a refuge. And in this refuge, you are invincible. Nothing can shake the peace that resides in the stillness. No matter what happens in the external world, the truth of your being, the truth of who you are, remains unchanged, untouched, and eternal. Stillness is not an escape from the world. It is the key to living fully in it. It is not about withdrawing or avoiding. It is about learning to live from a place of deep alignment with your soul. It is about moving through the world with clarity, with purpose, with an open heart, while remaining grounded in the truth that your peace does not depend on anything outside of you. In the stillness, you realize that everything you need, every ounce of love, every bit of wisdom, every thread of courage already resides within you. You are complete. You are the embodiment of divine wisdom. And from this place of deep knowing, you can live freely, joyfully, and authentically. You are not the fear that has held you back. You are not the doubts that have clouded your path. You are not the judgments that have defined you. You are the stillness beneath it all. You are the peace that transcends it all. The mind may try to create a story, may try to define your reality with labels and limits, but the soul knows no limits. The soul is free. And in this freedom, you find your power. When you sit in stillness, you find the courage to let go of the past. The past is a shadow, a whisper of a life that no longer exists. You are not the person you once were, nor are you the mistakes you once made. In stillness, you rise into the truth of who you are now, in this present moment, and in this moment alone is all that you need. The past is gone. The future is unknown. The only thing that exists is the present moment. And in the present, you are whole, you are free, and you are enough. The stillness has already begun to work its magic. You may not see it, but it is there in every corner of your being. It is in the quiet of your heart, the peace of your mind, and the calm of your spirit. You may not notice it at first, but as you move through your days, you will begin to feel its presence more deeply. In the stillness, you will begin to understand that you are not alone, that you are part of something much greater than yourself. The universe is speaking to you, whispering its truths in the silence. And as you listen, you will find that your life begins to unfold in the most beautiful, unexpected ways. And so, I leave you with this. Return to the stillness whenever you can. It is not a destination. It is the space between your thoughts. It is the quiet center of your being. It is the infinite peace that exists beneath the surface of your mind. In this space, you will find the truth of who you are. In this space, you will find your power. And in this space, you will find your freedom. The stillness is not something you have to search for. It is already within you, waiting for you to notice. It is always available, always present, always there. All you need to do is stop, breathe, and listen. When you do, you will discover that everything you need has been within you all along. You are the stillness, you are the peace, you are the love. You are the wisdom. And in this truth, you will find the courage to live your life with grace, with purpose, and with an open heart. So, let the stillness guide you. Let it be your compass. Let it be your home. And from this place of stillness, move forward with the knowing that you are already enough, already whole, and already free.